Yes. So I'd like to call the Human Services Committee, call to order the Human Services Committee. Can we have a roll call, please, with location?
Commissioner Brown,
Here, Muskegon.
Commissioner Sear,
Here, Twin Lake, Michigan.
Commissioner Hughes,
Here, Muskegon Township, Michigan.
Commissioner Laring,
Here, Muskegon County Hall of Justice.
Commissioner Nash,
Here, City of Muskegon.
Commissioner Pago,
Here, Muskegon County Hall of Justice.
Chairman Skolnick,
Here, City of Norton Shores.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Here in Muskegon County Justice.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Here, City of Muskegon. I would now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 2nd.
Support.
Or
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Comments or concerns? All right, we'll have a vote. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
yes,
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yes. At this point, we have an opportunity for public comment on an agenda item. Are there any members of the public who would like to make a comment? Is Ann? Ann? Ann DeRoyne, do you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. Can you hear
Thank
me?
you.
Yep.
Yes, go ahead on agenda
Okay.
item.
Yes, I have a question on under items of consideration for number 9. I'm understanding that's just a grant, but do you converse with the city as well? Because I'm noticing that, if this is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that the city has gotten like $126,000 from sales of marijuana, from the state, excise tax, etc. And then they're putting, I believe it's 35% towards community and equity, medicinal purposes, as far as educating the people on the good and bad parts of marijuana. And I just wonder if this committee is aware of that. Are we double dipping? I don't know. I don't understand this part of it. If you could help me out, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
It is a totally different source of funds. This is money that has traditionally gone to the public health department for harm reduction messages and safe storage and unsafe usage of marijuana. So that's their role exclusively. The tax money that comes into the city is for other uses. Can somebody else answer that better? Is Jill Montgomery Keast on the call?
I don't think we do answer. This is just public comment. I don't think we answer.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, we'll proceed with items for consideration. HS 21/04-08, Public Health, Kathy Moore, to approve additional fiscal year 21 senior millage funding in the amount of $7,500 for disability network transportation through September 30th, 2021.
So move.
Support.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion, concerns? Okay, are we ready to vote? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Sear,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yes. Okay, and that passed. The next is HS 21/04-09, Public Health, Kathy Moore, to authorize the board chair to sign the 2021 medical marijuana operation and oversight grant with the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs in the amount of $35,178, effective January 1, 2021 to September 15, 2021.
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
Support.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion or concerns? All right, we'll move for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash, Commissioner Nash,
Maybe we can come back to him. I know he had technical difficulties Tuesday.
Commissioner Pago,
No.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Seer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes. Okay, that passed.
Commissioner Nash,
Oh, sorry.
I didn't get to vote, did I, Kathy?
And- no, Commissioner Hughes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I was
Did we
looking
hear
up on
from
my
Commissioner
roll
Nash?
call vote.
Are you done with the roll call vote?
Yes, I am, other than Commissioner Nash.
Okay. HS 21/04-10, Public Health, Kathy Moore, to enter into a 3-year contract agreement with Senior Resources for a senior millage grant administration services effective October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or concerns? Yes.
Yeah, I have was this, what was the one we were postponing? Maybe I'm confused here.
So, Commissioner, Mr. Chairman, this is specifically for the Grants Administration Services. There was one successful respondent to the RFP. I believe there were 1 or 2 others that did not respond timely or some other issue. The Senior Resources has made a request, and the Senior Activities Committee has also recommended that Senior Resources receive an annual allocation. But that is not what is before you today.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, so that'll come back.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I
Okay,
just have one question. This is set up for a 3-year contract, but we still hadn't got information from the legal counsel on whether this is a major conflict we need to be concerned about. So do we have a contract that's set up that would be able to give us an out so that we could change if we needed to?
Severability.
Mark, is it a 30 or 60 day?
Yeah, I'll refer to Laura on this, corporate counsel.
Certainly, the issue that came up at the work session about looking into the possible other funding options and conflict issues is a separate issue from recommending approval of this. Under the RFP, Senior Resource would not be eligible to apply for grant funds from the millage. So if there's a different funding mechanism, that's something that can be discussed. But my understanding of this is that this is simply awarding the contract or recommending that the board award the contract subject to that limitation that is in the proposal.
Okay,
Commissioner Nash, we
fine.
could add your friendly amendment to this, that if an agreement is not resolved on the other topic, that this one here could be not executed or a cancellation clause.
Correct.
Yeah,
Madam,
that would be appropriate. would you like to make that amendment, Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Madam
And the original motion maker, are you accepting that?
Can they hear me?
I'm not sure who the original one was.
I will listen to that.
Commissioner Pago, yes, I did hear you.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to approve this with,
Motion.
Kristen, can you restate the amendment?
I'm
So
gonna
the
need Mark to do that.
point of order, we have an amendment on the motion, and the motion maker and the second have to agree to the amendment.
I thought they did.
I seconded the motion, so I'd like to rehear the amendment again.
Thank you. No problem.
Mark, could you restate that for us, please?
Yes, and maybe Laura has a better legal mind on this than I do, but
I can give it a try. My understanding of it was that that this would be conditioned on, and let me, before I try to rephrase it, and I'm not trying to interject here, but my understanding from the work session was that Senior Resource Center may not accept it. They still have to accept it even if it's awarded, and they may not do that without that agreement. But in any event, my understanding is this would be then conditioned on reaching a mutually acceptable agreement with Senior Resources as to additional county funding options.
Right.
I'm not, so I don't want to.
Okay, so we can,
So before I approve the amendment as being the second to the motion, I would like the amendment stated clearly, please.
Yeah.
could the lawyers?
Would you like me to state it again?
Say it again.
What
the exact funding source, Kathy Moore, do you have the exact source you're referring to?
So actually, it's the same source of funding, which is the senior millage dollars, the tax levy. The way the funding is awarded would be different. It would be an allocation similar to the municipal allocation, as opposed to the RFP, request for proposal process, where they have received both RFP funds as well as grants administration funds in the past. And
I
we
think
are
we
trying
can
to stop that.
I think we can simplify this by just saying contingent upon an agreement with Senior Services upon an allocation of funds.
Are you okay with that, Mr. Laring?
Yes, thank you, Charles.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, let's do a roll call, please.
Marcia, I have a question first.
Sure.
Does this mean that you're going to come to an agreement with Senior Resources and not bring it back to us if they get more funding?
It'd be brought back.
It will be brought
It
back,
has to be brought back, yes.
Okay.
but we have to have an agreement with them first and then bring it back.
Okay, thank
We're
you.
the ones that have to approve that allocation.
Right.
Can I ask a question too, please, before we move forward?
Sure, Commissioner.
Can we change this to 1 year instead of 3 years? Can we, why can't we make a motion?
The RF, let me just,
You're correct.
at least theoretically, RFP process was quite lengthy. And as you see, it was delayed several months. And, you know, to make it a year to year, I mean, we can always, there's an out clause anyway, so we could always change that.
Can I
I
ask
mean, we could always use that.
Mr. Nash, would you be willing to change your amendment also to add 1 year?
I'm just trying to think about this as far as amendment. You're talking about changing the amendment?
Well, because you already have an amendment. I can't make an amendment on top of your amendment. I'm asking you if you would be willing to include into your amendment a 1 year, to amend it to 1 year contract instead of 3. If not, I'll wait and I'll do it later, but I just was wondering if you would be willing to do that.
Right, I was just thinking that, I think we should go for how we have it now, and we could also do that later because that agreement has to be brought back to us anyway.
Mhm. Okay, let's proceed with the roll call, please.
You're not,
Well, this is on the
Unless there's
amendment.
Anybody else? Is there anybody else?
you're not changing the words of the motion. You're gonna just go ahead and not talk about the agreement or anything, right?
We're voting on.
No. Point of order, we're voting on the amendment first.
Right, we're voting on the amendment, which refers to the funding.
Contingency upon the agreement of
Thank you.
allocation with senior services.
All right, so we're voting on the amendment first. Those in favor, well, let's have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
No,
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yeah.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Steer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yes. Okay, now we're voting on the original motion to enter a three-year contract with Senior Resource.
Commissioner
vote.
Pago,
hold on. That was just, I wasn't done, so that was. just-
Okay.
That was that we voted on Mr. Nash's amendment. Now we're still in discussion, correct?
Would you like to make a motion? Or
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to amend the motion before us, instead of a 3-year contract, to change it to a 1-year contract. Can I have a second, please?
I will second it for debate. What are?
I have a comment on that. It's
Yeah,
already been,
go ahead.
it was already due October of 2020, and now we're in April of 2021. So if we made it a 1-year contract, we only have just a few months left. It seems like a waste of time to do that. I would
Yes.
rather keep it with 3 years.
Yeah,
Thank you,
comment,
Susie. Anybody else?
comment, please. Marcia, may
Yeah,
I comment?
Mr. Steer?
With the amendment that we just put on this, which gives us, from my understanding, an opt-out at any time during this 3-year contract, I don't know why we would want to change it to 1 year.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, Marcia, I'd like to make a comment, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, we've already spent significant time on this, and there's no reason to make it a 1-year contract. It's just more work for everybody involved in this. We have an opt-out clause. This contract is already halfway through the year, and it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna vote no to make it 1 year.
Okay, are we ready to vote? Any other comments before we vote on this amendment to make it 1 year? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
No.
Commissioner Wilkins,
No.
Commissioner Brown,
No.
Commissioner Steer,
No,
Commissioner Hughes,
No.
Commissioner Laring,
No.
Commissioner Nash,
No.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
No. Okay, now we're going to vote on the motion. Any discussion? Any more discussion here?
Please no.
Okay, please no. Yeah, let's move along. Okay, let's call for a roll call vote on the amended number 10.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
This was the amendment that
No,
This
this
with
is
the
the full
amendment.
motion with the amendment.
that's correct.
right.
So, okay, so I'm confused now. We're voting to accept this with the opt-out provision?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, I vote yes. I'm sorry.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Steer,
Yes,
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
No.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yes. Okay, unfinished, is there any unfinished business?
Madam Chair, I have a item of unfinished business.
Go ahead.
So last night in the wee hours of the evening, a emergency order was passed declaring a health emergency in Muskegon County. I make a motion that we revoke the emergency order that was passed
Second.
last night.
Okay, is there any discussion on that?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Skolnick, yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, we can vote on this, it's fine. It expires on April 7th. It expires in a few days. And we're gonna get another crack at it on Tuesday. So whatever, we can vote on it if that's what you want.
Madam Chair, I have a follow-up comment.
Go ahead.
So this could have been passed at Tuesday's meeting. There was no health crisis that happened from Tuesday evening to Wednesday evening. There was no change. This specifically did not come from a directive from our public health director. The commissioner took this mandate upon himself to declare a health emergency in Muskegon County that does not exist for the sole purpose that he can sit home on Zoom instead of coming into the boardroom. Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair,
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Skolnick.
that's
Commissioner Skolnick.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even want to, it's not even to respond to it.
The cases, number of cases rose 53.3% in Muskegon County in the month of March. So it's not an unreasonable thing to do. Anybody else?
I have a follow-up comment, if I may.
This is the one.
Madam Chair, may I?
Yes.
Thank you. The numbers that were given in the emergency order were state numbers, not Muskegon County numbers. The state numbers are far different than the county numbers. We just had a report on Tuesday. Our numbers are not in significant risk. We had a good report from our health director. We've only had one death in the county since our last report. The hospitals do not reflect an emergency, nor does the increase. Now, some of our neighbors are having a problem, but we're not in Muskegon County. And this is why local counties are supposed to dictate and mandate their own health concerns. We do not need bureaucratic overreach from one individual, from the state or the county chair.
Is there anybody else who would like to comment on this, revoking the emergency order?
Marcia, one,
Madam,
excuse me, just
Go ahead, Mr. Skolnick.
when several commissioners refuse to wear masks, don't care about getting the vaccine, I don't care if they get sick. It's fine. That's your right to be sick. I do object to passing it on to me so I can spread it to other people in my family, my friends, everybody. All we're asking is that you help protect others. And people refuse to do it. I don't know what else to do. There's nothing else I can do.
Madam Chair, I have another comment. If I may.
No, I'm
It's gonna
sorry.
go on all
You're-
night,
no.
Madam Chair. The answer should be no.
call for the question.
Thank you.
I should address the chair to call for the question.
Madam
I'm
Chair,
sorry, what?
I'm not finished.
Yeah,
Commissioner,
'cause
No,
calling
I'm
for the
sorry.
question.
You've said enough.
right to silence me, Madam Chair.
You have
So-
spoken 3 times. I
Mr.
think that's
Stoll
enough.
received 2 vaccinations. He can't possibly can be concerned about this himself if he thinks.
Madam Chair, I'm calling for the question.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have a roll call on this, please.
You're calling on the question. You have to have a 2/3 majority vote to pass this. So the vote is to call the question. I don't believe you got a second for that.
Is there
No.
a second for calling the question?
I'll support it.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call on calling the question?
Commissioner Wilkins, Commissioner Wilkins,
We can't hear you.
I have minutes. Now we're voting on continuing it just like it
calling
is.
the question, Commissioner
We're
Wilkins.
calling for the question to end debate.
Yes,
Commissioner Brown, No. Commissioner Seer,
No.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Leering,
No.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
No.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
5 yes, 4 no.
Okay, now we vote on the issue, to revoke the
That's
emergency.
2/3.
Corporate, that is not a 2/3 majority
Oh, you're
vote.
right. That is that
Correct, it
required?
does, it requires under Robert's rules a 2/3 vote to call the question.
So we're still in open
So
debate.
we're stuck in
Correct.
listening.
Well, we are still, the question has not been called, so a discussion is still open.
Okay, so there's still discussion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, Mr. Nash.
First of all, it's really gotten to a point where we're adults and we're acting like children at this board, and it's gotten really ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is at this point in time that we have to understand that we're dealing with a situation where people are losing their loved ones. We're not talking about data and numbers. We're talking about people who are out here suffering because they're losing people's lives. So let's stop playing games with this, and let's realize that there's people out there hurting. And what we really need to do is try to protect ourselves from more people hurting. And whether you agree with it or not, being precautious is not a bad thing. I don't know why we're making it such a bad thing. I would rather have more precautions than less and have people subject to more harm. So whether you agree with it or not, err on the side of safety. That's all we're trying to do.
Madam Chair, may I?
Yes, Mr. Seer.
I understand what Commissioner Nash is saying, but the thing I keep seeing is, we're going to have COVID-19, we're going to have viruses that are going to come down the road. This is, unfortunately, if we keep going down this road, this is going to be a permanent thing. You're going to have to wear masks for the rest of your life, and I just see that coming down the road, and I'm not real happy with that scenario, and I guess that's my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Seer. Is there anyone else?
Here, can I finish my comments now? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So my problem with this is this is a 7-day extension to an emergency order to do an end run around the law. The law of the Opens Meeting Act says that we have to get back in our chairs and do our job. You don't want to sit home, and you don't get that opportunity without an end run around the Opens Meeting Act. The only reason for this is we're trying to violate the principle of the Opens Meeting Act so you don't come in and do your jobs. This isn't about safety. Our legislators, both Democrat and Republican, our Senate, are not extending the Opens Meeting Act. So you're declaring an emergency just to do an end run around the Opens Meeting Act, and you're going to, in 7 days, you're going to do another end run, in another 7 days, another end run. Open Meeting Act says, come back, sit in the building, do your job at the people's building here. You need to be here so the public can comment. I'm still speaking. Thank you, Marcia. The Opens Meeting Act, are we just going to extend this on in perpetuity to do an end run? Our legislators are not going to pass the law to extend the Open Meeting Act. So we are going to have to come back. You could extend this on in perpetuity just to try to get around an Opens Meeting Act and declare. The press is reporting that the Board of Commissioners approved this unanimously. They did not. This was one man who passed a dictate that the board did not approve. He could have brought it up the day before and he didn't. And so he's just he's doing the same thing the governor's doing with her executive orders. We need to get back in here and do our job the way we're supposed to be doing it according to the law. This is complete lawlessness and trying to do end runs around it. Thank you.
And Mr. Laring, if you'll recall, when I was in the chambers on Tuesday, and the technology did not work. There was echo, it was impossible. And the room I ended up in, the lights kept turning on, off. So it didn't work. for me. I mean, it works much better to be online. So that's not the reason why. You're only speculating why Mr. Skolnick made that emergency. Is there anyone else that would like to comment?
Marcia, these just a couple
Yes.
of facts.
Sure.
There are 28 counties in the state that have done exactly what I did. 21 chairmen did exactly what I did. Ottawa County did it, heavily Republican. Right next door, Kent County, another similar county, much bigger than us, did it. Kalamazoo County, Wayne County, which is different than us, did it. We're not the only ones. I'll leave it at that. That's it.
Okay.
And-
Are we
I'll-
ready to vote? Mr. Lynn, you have had plenty of opportunities, and all you're doing is,
Madam Chair, may I have an additional comment?
I didn't even get mine.
is there anybody else before we go back to Mr. Laring?
Yes, I can't do
Okay.
these meetings from home because the calls continually drop. That's why I come into the boardroom where we're supposed to be. Today, IT came in and it's fixed now. We're all in here, a lot of us, and they have the one speaker. We're on our individual cameras, but there's one speaker and there's no issue. So yes, the other day there was, that's been
Okay.
rectified. Number one.
Okay.
Two, the SARS virus isn't gonna go away. It's gonna be here forever like flu, a million other viruses. If you've looked at the reports that our county health director has provided, the death tallies of natural causes that includes the SARS virus has not changed much different than all the other cases. It's the same in line with the same percentages as what our natural causes of death are from all the other years. This isn't going anywhere.
Marcia, could I ask a
Madam-
question?
Yes, Miss
The reason
Commissioner
why.
Hughes.
I'd like to know if we did go back to meeting in person, could we expect the commissioners who are now meeting in the boardroom without mask to protect us by wearing masks, whether they protect themselves or not?
You have your own mask on, you shouldn't be worried.
That answers my question. Thank you.
The reason why the numbers went up, as Mrs. Moore, County Health Director, stated the other day, was because there was an increase in testing for these youth, but it has not had any negative effect on them. So the numbers went up because the testing went up naturally.
Now, Madam
Anybody
Chair,
else? Mr. Nash?
you know, I'm appalled at the contradictoriness that's going on here, because a while ago, we were just getting preached to about people being able to make their own choice. And this emergency order just gave us the ability to make our own choice. If you need to go into there because your phone keeps dropping, that's fine. And if you want to be in there because you feel better being in the boardroom, that's fine. But some of us don't feel safe because some people are so lawless that they want to wear nothing. And it's not safe for other people. So let us have the ability to make our own choice. Nobody's trying to avoid the Meetings Act. They're trying to avoid death.
Madam
Then-
Chair,
Thank you, Mr. Nash. Yes, Mr. Laring.
thank you. So this motion doesn't have anything to do with the health crisis, even though it's been declared as a health crisis reason. The reason for it is an end run around the Opens Meeting Act. Secondly, back to the health issue, if this board will recall, I put a motion forward that we do a resolution to try to amend this, that we go to a hybrid meeting several months ago that you all resoundingly voted no on, and where you would have this opportunity. The right way to do this is to address the legislator and the state and say, we want to amend the Opens Meeting Act and then live within the laws that are already passed down on us. We could write a resolution to our state legislators and Senate asking them to amend the Opens Meeting Act, but you don't want to address or ruffle any feathers at the state with anything. The boardroom is set up for a hybrid meeting. We could have the pathway to do this. This isn't a health concern. You're just doing the idea that you're passing this motion as a health issue is ridiculous. The numbers don't reflect that. This is solely about doing an end run around the law.
Okay, thank you. Are we ready for a vote on this? This is to revoke the Mr. Skolnick, our chair's emergency declaration.
Commissioner
Roll call,
Brown,
please.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Seer,
No,
Commissioner Hughes,
No,
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
No.
Commissioner Pego,
Yes.
Chairman Skolnick,
No,
Commissioner Wilkins. Commissioner Wilkins,
No.
Commissioner Javi Wright,
No.
6 no, 3 yes.
Thank you. That is unfinished business. Any new business? Moving on to public comment on anything. Is there any public comments?
Can I make a motion?
Yes, no, we're past that. Margot Haynes. Margot Haynes, you may make a public comment.
she needs to unmute.
Unmute, please. And that would be
Okay.
star.
Sorry, the first time I
Okay.
tried to unmute, it would not unmute me.
I know, people are having trouble getting in.
Yes. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Margot Haynes, 5150 Brookwood Circle, Montague, Michigan. I would like to respond to a couple of ignorant comments that I have heard from purported commissioners. Those who do not wear masks are not doing it because they're confident of their own health. They are putting others at risk. You wear a mask to protect other people because wearing that mask keeps your microbes, germs, whatever your viruses, contained as much as possible. It is the Christian thing to do, to take care of your neighbor, to wear a mask. And supposed Christians who do not wear masks are offensive to me. That's my first thing. And my second is I would like to express my condolence that the commission has to deal with such ignorance in a time of pandemic, that you would not be well informed about this fact and that you would not be doing the utmost to take care of our public servants by protecting their health and doing everything you could does not speak well either for your morality. Thank you.
Thank you, Margot Haynes. Tammy Jaeger. You may unmute. Tammy Jaeger. Please unmute. I think
Okay,
it's-
and now I'm there.
Yes,
Oh, I'm Alan. I'm not Tammy because I don't have a microphone on my computer. So is that all right?
yeah, you're Alan who?
All right. I'm the Holton Township.
You're Alan who?
I'm Alan Jaeger, and I'm the Holton Township Supervisor.
Okay, thank you.
We were informed kind of today that the senior millage is up with means testing. And if it's got means testing, all of our residents pay taxes, every one of them. So I would like to have some answers back on this. And we tried to contact you all today, but we couldn't get through, or something happened. We never heard anything from anybody. So anyway, if it's means testing, I don't even think we'd do it. Everybody pays taxes. Everybody deserves this money back if you're a senior. And then on the, Melinda's right. You need to get back to board meetings. This is stupid. This is the first time I did it. This is no wonder why we don't do board meetings this way. This is not an answer. You guys are getting away with everything, and we are not. We just are not being informed. They talk about people not being able to use computers and everything else. Even if you can use a computer, you can't get through this stupid thing. And so Melinda is right. Get back in the boardroom, and that's so people can come in there and chew you out like you ought to be chewed out. And the last, Zach, if you want to fix this resolution from the last meeting, you need to write a letter over there to Lansing and to defund all of DHS. If you cut the head off the snake, there won't be no money. There won't be no more of these public orders that are forcing us to put our people out of business, to ruin our townships, our county, and everything else, with us not being able to participate in meetings and everything else. So cut DHS's funding, and we'll put this state back in the running order. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just to answer you quickly, there's only very few programs with millage that are means tested, and I don't believe the millage ones are the ones that you're talking about are means tested. Thank you. Next person would be Sean Mullally.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say, if the board decides to continue to hold remote meetings or to go back to meeting in person, regardless of which you decide, I'd encourage you to continue to allow the public involvement electronically, irregardless of the virus, even if the virus didn't exist. I know in the past, there have been meetings where the crowd's been overflowed all the way out into the elevator lobby. And
right,
for the ability of 100+ people to be able to participate easily, even with the electronic glitches that we're kind of becoming accustomed to, I think that's the improvement, and I would encourage you to continue.
Good suggestion, Sean. Next one is 616-540-3038. State your name, please.
Hi, my name is Brenda Wodarski. I work in the healthcare field. I specialize in Alzheimer's, dementia, hospice. First of all, I am really, really sad of nobody getting their facts. Mask experts prove even N95 masks only block 0.25 and higher. This micron for the coronavirus is 0.8. Would you guys do your homework? Masks don't work. Get an industrial hygienist in there to school you. I'm sick of hearing about socialism. You guys are ignorant. Get your facts straight, because anyone that's not specialized in the field should shut their mouth. I don't get it. This is America. The fear mongering going on has got to stop. More people are getting pneumonia from wearing the damn mask. Walking pneumonia. I work in this field. I specialize in this field over 27 years. Stop with the fear mongering. Get the facts. Tammy Clark, Kristen Megan Kelly, industrial hygienists, specialize in masks and what they can do. 0.003 death toll. We have 21,000 a day that die of tobacco. Are you going after the tobacco industries? We have 3,000 a day that die of pneumonia. We have over 4,000 from TB. Get your facts straight, people. Nobody is dying from coronavirus. Take your vitamin D, C, and zinc. If you feel safe in a mask, well, I don't know why you would, because it's 0.08 microns. No mask will keep it off. Did you do a fit test to put on a mask? Did you do a humidity, air-controlled level room to put on a mask? Were you, who did your fit testing, you guys? I want to hear every single one of you. I will stand outside and watch how many times you guys touch your mask and contaminate your mask. Who taught you how to don and doff your mask? So anyone that doesn't know about this stuff and doesn't work in the field should shut their damn mouth. Zach and Melinda, thank you for standing up for our country. God bless America.
Thank you.
Grow up and get your facts straight. Ignoramus.
Michael Farrar, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Am I coming in well?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, when we're talking about the governor saving lives, are we referring to the nursing homes? Because what's taking place here is a political ideology. If you disagree, you get belittled. If you look at the states and the counties around the USA that have completely done the opposite of what the majority here are doing, you find lesser cases. So clearly a political ideology is taking place rather than actual science and data. And when you use those words, I really think you need to know what they're about. In closing, I think meetings are great, but a mask is like trying to stop mosquitoes from a chain link fence. But You cheer on a shopkeep trying to keep their business open, being arrested by the state police so they can pay their bills. Yet you praise rioters and looters who steal TVs and break and entering, claiming it's 200 years of anger when the individual is 15 years old. That, my friends, is a political ideology and indoctrination taking place in the city of Muskegon. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Jason Hall, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't even know where to start. I actually wrote stuff down this time. Commissioner Skolnick advised through his own words that the only reason for this emergency order act was for his personal fear of individuals not wearing a mask around him. So we have one individual who just placed 180,000 people under certain requirements because of his own personal fear. That's his words, not mine. That Wisconsin's Supreme Court just ruled masks unconstitutional. Are you guys setting yourself up for a class action lawsuit that taxpayers would have to pay? We have no ethics policy in this county for a reason. It keeps each one of you individually from being responsible for breaking the law or committing unconstitutional acts or having to pay out of pocket. We have commissioners on this board who openly lie to other commissioners. That's been used in court. How do we hold those people responsible? We can't. Charles Nash, you're all about lives, saving lives. Well, we gotta get rid of cars. We gotta get rid of all this marijuana that we're now the biggest drug dealer in Muskegon. We wanna sell all the drugs, then take all the taxpayers' money to teach people not to use drugs. It's pretty idiotic. I personally believe we have a health director who's scared to stand up and speak because I think if she honestly spoke, she'd probably lose her job. And unfortunately, I could be mistaken, but I think she's the one that's got the say in this power as to where everything is. But nobody wants to listen to her, so it really doesn't matter what she says at this point. And as for this chair to laugh when people are speaking because they are speaking up against what's going on.
Your time is up, sir.
That's insulting. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for letting me know.
Marianne Darnell.
Hi, I just want to make one comment. I am so very disgusted. I was born and raised in Muskegon, and I wouldn't have never thought that I would hear some of the nonsense that's being said here today. Having lived in Chicago 27 and a half years, I wouldn't have never believed Muskegon County. To the gentleman that said looting, stealing TVs, so on and so forth, that's 200 years of anger. Well, I'm gonna say this: lynching, raping, shooting in the back, and your knee on my neck, I can't breathe. Is that 200 years of anger? Thank you.
Thank you. Is that everybody? Oh, Ann DeRoyan.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Yes, Ann Derwin. I just want to comment on this because Chairman Skolnick, I don't think you should, or maybe you don't even have the power to declare a state of emergency in Muskegon. Obviously you do because you took it. You based it, we had a conversation, and according to what I understood, you based it because of other counties were doing it. That's not a reason for closing down Muskegon County. I hope you will all listen to what I believe her name was Brenda Wood, who works in this field. It's true, masks don't work. The N95s, it can go right through, and it's true, you have to be fitted for these masks. And how many people do touch them all the time? They don't work. This is all about control, and that's what you want. The nursing homes, yeah, our governor is responsible for some of that, and maybe she'll be taken to task for the deaths in those nursing homes. And Marcia Hovey Wright, I have never seen you act so disrespectful in a meeting. That's an abomination to your position. And I will hope you would apologize to those that you treated badly during this meeting. We all want what's right for our community. But control and dictatorship isn't going to cut it. We need to open our county, open our schools, and get on with life. We're adults, we can make our own decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Royne. I believe that's all. Is that all? Okay. Are there any final board comments?
Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved, support.
So moved. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you.